I have a lot of my students come to me and tell me that they're suffering from chronic stress. And I really understand this because I wonder if you've noticed that stress doesn't land the way that it used to. Maybe you're more reactive than you were a few years ago. Or for a lot of people, they're coming in telling me that their mind feels foggier. Or maybe things that once felt manageable are feeling strangely overwhelming. And perhaps you've quietly wondered, what's wrong with me? I want to say this right away. There's nothing wrong with you. What you're experiencing isn't some kind of failing. It's not you're just getting older. Chronic stress actually changes the brain, not in a dramatic movie style way, but in subtle, cumulative ways that affect how you think. It affects how you feel, how you remember, how you respond to life. And the most important thing to know is this: those changes aren't permanent. So today I want to help you understand what long-term stress does to your brain, and more importantly, what genuinely helps your nervous system recover and build resilience. Not by pushing harder, not by coping better, but by working with your brain instead of against it. So why does stress feel different now? The thing you've got to understand is that stress in small doses is actually very useful. What it does is it sharpens your focus, it gives you energy, it helps you respond quickly when something matters. And your body releases adrenaline and cortisol. These are hormones that are really important because they're designed to help you meet a challenge and then return to balance. But the problem is this: your brain was never designed to stay in that state all of the time. So when stress becomes constant, you have weeks, months, years of being on, then your system doesn't get a chance to reset. And that's when stress stops being helpful and starts becoming harmful. So chronic stress actually rewires your brain. Let's talk about what's happening inside your head, just, so that you get some understanding of it. So when you're suffering from chronic stress, what happens is that first of all, your brain's alarm system becomes overactive. So there's a small structure in your brain, and the job of it is to scan for danger. So under chronic stress, this alarm system becomes hypersensitive. Everything starts to feel urgent. Small things start to feel really big. And if there are situations that are even neutral, they can start to feel threatening, right? I think all of us have had times in our lives when we've experienced this. So it's a little bit like a smoke alarm that goes off every time someone makes some toast. So this is why chronic stress can show up as anxiety, irritability, or feeling constantly on edge. But the great thing and the important thing to know is this alarm system can calm down again. Now, the second thing is that stress affects your memory and it affects your mental clarity. So long-term stress interferes with the part of the brain that's responsible for learning and for memory. This is why we find that a lot of young people like me who've suffered from trauma have problems with remembering things from their childhood. So you might notice, if you're in a state of chronic stress, that you're forgetting things more easily. Maybe you're having trouble concentrating. Maybe you're feeling mentally exhausted even when you haven't done much. This isn't laziness. This is your stressed brain, and what it's trying to do is conserve energy. The third thing that happens is that decision-making becomes harder. So there's a part of your brain that helps you to pause, helps you to reflect, helps you to choose wisely. And when you're under chronic stress, that part becomes less accessible. So that's why you might snap at people that you care about, you might make impulsive decisions, you might feel scattered, or you might feel unable to think clearly. So it's not that you've lost your wisdom, it's that stress temporarily blocks access to it. And the fourth thing is that your brain becomes less flexible. So stress reduces the brain's ability to form new connections. So this makes it harder to break negative thought patterns, or to adapt to change, or to recover from difficult experiences. And life starts to feel rigid, it feels stuck, it can feel repetitive. And finally, stress disrupts your internal rhythm. So your stress hormones are meant to rise and fall in this very natural daily cycle. And chronic stress flattens that rhythm. So you might feel wired at night. You might feel exhausted in the morning. You might feel tired, but you're unable to rest. So this is a sign that your body's confused. But here's the good news. Your brain can recover. This is the part I want you to hear. Your brain isn't fragile. It's responsive. It's adaptable. And small, consistent changes can gently reverse many of these stress effects. So, what actually helps? The first foundation is sleep. So sleep is where your brain repairs itself. It clears stress hormones, it restores balance, it integrates emotional experiences. And a consistent bedtime matters more than perfection. Not whenever you're done for the night, but an actual rhythm your body can trust. I am really particular about getting myself to bed every night at the same time, and I can't tell you the difference that it's made to me. So the second foundation is movement. So movement tells your nervous system that you're safe enough to expend energy. It reduces inflammation. It supports new brain growth. It helps to regulate your stress hormones. So this doesn't need to be intense. A daily walk counts. Gentle, regular movement counts. I do a lot of things where I'm doing movement that's involved in activities that I really enjoy, like playing sport. And that really helps. I also love walking my dogs on the beach every morning. This makes moving really easy for me. So try and pair your movement with something you enjoy. Maybe you love listening to podcasts. Put the podcast in, go for a walk. Make those two things go together. The third foundation is interrupting stress early. So I call these circuit breakers. So when you notice your tension building, pause. Take 3 slow breaths. Count slowly on the inhale and the exhale. So this simple act signals safety to your nervous system. It's not about calming your mind. It's about calming your body first. And the other thing that we need to do is tame and train our mind. So we understand from all the work that we've done together that working with our mind is the crux of this work. Our happiness and our suffering all come from our mind. So we need to learn how to work with our mind. So small habits, are really important. Resilience isn't built in one moment. It's built quietly through daily structure. So a few things that matter more than we realize. Brief moments of mindfulness. So I really encourage you to come and do my program, The 10-Minute Mind. Take regular breaks during the day. I take a number of breaks during my day so I can settle and bring my nervous system back down. I want you to think about eating and drinking in a way that stabilizes your energy. It's really important that we understand this, that food and drink have a massive effect on our mood and our energy levels. I also want you to think about connecting with people that feel safe, connecting with people that you enjoy, that bring your nervous system down. And also to have a clear boundary between work and rest. This is absolutely vital. So I have very clear boundaries. When work is over, it's over. And I shut everything down that is involved with work so that when I have my non-work time, it's completely clear of all communication from work. These things aren't luxuries. They're nervous system maintenance. So resilience doesn't mean eliminating stress. It means strengthening your capacity to recover, like an immune system, like a muscle that learns flexibility instead of forcing. So if you notice early signs of chronic stress, if you're irritable, if your sleep is changing, if you've got mental fog, this isn't a failure, it's information. And responding early really is an act of self-respect. You've got to remember, you wouldn't run your car for years without maintenance. Your brain deserves the same care. Not because you're weak, but because you're human. So I hope this has been helpful. Don't forget, I'd love you to come to moniquerhodes.com. Come and do the happiness assessment. We'll get you on the path to being happier. I hope this has been helpful. As always, be kind, Take care. Go gently in the world.